Welcome all teams to the event safety and briefing video for this coming weekend's Max Adventure Race at Lake Macquarie, thanks to Lake Macquarie City Council. Really looking forward to welcoming you all to the event for an awesome day out of running, riding and kayaking. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional custodians upon whose land we will be meeting and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Some of the main things I want to cover off today involve safety, so I'll start with them. You will all be travelling along the course in teams of 2. Therefore, should you get into any difficulty on course, your first port of call is going to be your teammate. So make sure you stay nice and close together with your teammate while going around the course. If you need further assistance outside that your teammate can provide, a couple of options. You can either grab the next team that's passing by and ask them to report into the next transition area or marshal location, the nature of the injury, where you are and things like that, so we can initiate the appropriate first aid response, or there are some emergency contact details on both your map and your course description, so give us a call on that and we'll be able to get assistance out to you as needed. There will be sections on all courses at the event on Saturday where you'll either be crossing and or travelling alongside roads. Those roads are not closed and will have traffic travelling along them. You need to stop and give way to any cars that may be passing by. The cars will not stop and wait for you. So make sure you stop at any road crossings, check both directions, only cross when safe. When you're travelling alongside any road, in single file, stay to the left like you normally would. There will be plenty of other users out on the course on Saturday. Plenty of walkers, runners, riders, things like that. They have as much right to be on the course as you do, so please show them respect and allow them to enjoy the location as much as you are. There could also be, in the national park, some four-wheel drivers or trail bikers. They shouldn't be in there. So if you will hear them before you see them. So if you do start to hear those sort of things approaching, move to the left, stay in single file, all those sort of things. What would normally happen if they're in there illegally and they see an event going on, they'll leave and go somewhere else. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it is a possibility. When you're out on course riding on your mountain bikes, we ask that you please ride to your ability. There is a variety of terrain that you'll be riding along, and depending on your route choice, some of the tracks can be quite overgrown, quite eroded, things like that. There can also be some short, steep downhill sections. So please ride to your ability. If you need to slow down, please do so. If you need to stop and walk for short sections, please don't hesitate to do that. We would encourage all teams to do that at certain points on the course. So keep an eye out for those areas. Ride to your ability, as I said. Especially you classic course teams, there are some sections that are a bit rougher than normal. So have a look at your course description. There's some details there on where those locations are, and we encourage you to get off and walk while you're going through there. There will be some times on the bike legs in both the classic and the novice course where you might need to get off and push for a section because the hills are simply too steep to ride up. Don't worry about that. That's part of the adventure. Get off, start plodding along, pushing your bike, and when you get to that top of the hill, jump back on and start riding again. The weather on Saturday is looking pretty good for an adventure race at this time of year. Temperatures are forecast to be in the low 20s. Chance of a shower during the day, but nothing that will stop the event going ahead. That shower floating around will mean that it's likely to be quite humid on Saturday, so that will make it feel hotter than it is. So that comes to my next point, water and mandatory gear. Make sure you have all the mandatory gear with you at all times, most importantly, water. It is a minimum for the classic and novice teams that is 2 litres per person, plus an additional 500 mils, so a bottle, on your bike as well. Please make sure you have that with you at all times, and that will be checked on Saturday. When you are out kayaking, please make sure that you wear the life jacket, the PFD. They are provided. There is a variety of sizes, including some smaller ones for younger team members. They must be worn whenever you're on the kayak. Remember to take your mandatory gear with you on the kayak. Don't leave that on the shore. It needs to go with you. And make sure that you're wearing enclosed shoes whenever you are doing the kayak leg. That's a rule as well. When you get to the kayak leg, we want you to please pick up and carry your boat, your kayak, into the water, and same when you arrive at the end of the kayak leg. Pick the boat up and carry it out of the water and leave it where directed. Please don't just drag it along the ground. That will damage the kayak and make you go a lot slower as it fills up with water. If you have younger team members that require assistance, please grab a friendly team that's also there, or one of our event staff will be able to help you. The kayaks are right next to the water, so you do not have to move them far. When you come along to registration, please check your team number on the team list that was sent round. Come along to registration and your bag will be waiting for you. There will be a mandatory gear check before you're allowed to collect your bag, so make sure you bring your mandatory gear, including your water, with you to registration on Saturday morning. When I say bring water, that doesn't include the 500ml on your bike. You can leave that on your bike, but the water that you will be carrying with you, make sure you have that with you along with your other mandatory gear. Come along to registration, we'll do that check, then we'll issue you your race bag. That will contain your map, course description, timing chip, race bibs, all the things you need for the day. Then you can head off, plan your route, mark out where you're going to go, and then come back for the appropriate start time. The controls are all marked with orange and white orienteering flags on the classic and novice course. They are purple and white flags on the kids course, so that's what you're looking for. There are a couple of spots where you'll see one of each. That's because that checkpoint is on both the kids and the classic/novice course. All right, so you look for those flags. Normally those flags will be attached to a tree. Around the base of that tree will then be the small electronic control, which you need to use your timing chip to record that you visited. So your timing chip goes into the control. There's a little hole in the control. Stick your timing chip in there. The control will beep and or flash. As long as it does one or the other, it doesn't matter. You'll either see it or you hear it. If you're unsure, put it in again to reconfirm that you did collect it. When you're all set up, you've collected your race bag, you've planned your route. For you classic course teams, it will just be a matter of coming along to the start line approximately 15 minutes before race start. There'll be another briefing on the start line and then you'll be out on the course. For you novice course teams, once the classic course teams have started, if you can form up near registration, I'm going to run through with a navigational tips and tricks session to help make sure you don't get too geographically challenged on the event. So bring your map and course description, all those things along to that briefing so we can give you a good idea of what you're looking for, where you want to be going, etc., etc. Then once the novice course team start, we'll do the same for the kids course team. We have a record kids course field this year, so form up at the start line as well once the novice course teams have started. And once again, we'll run through the kids course, give you some tips and tricks on how best to tackle the course to make sure you maximize your enjoyment on the day. That's all for me at this point in time. Enjoy the last couple of days before the event, and we look forward to welcoming you bright and early on Saturday at Cairns Wharf on the shores of beautiful Lake Macquarie. Thanks very much.